You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Baxter Springs Church grows more than just vegetables in its community garden. Tell you how fresh produce and homemade bread feed families and build connections.
Also, the man behind the murder in Devil's Den last weekend now appears before a judge. We'll have the latest.
And our temperature's a little warmer today, but still below normal. We'll have a look at your forecast and tell you when the heat might return. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Monday, August the 4th. Happy Monday to all of you.
Happy Monday.
Got our first full week of August ahead of us, and it will eventually get a little hotter.
Right.
But we had a pretty decent weekend for a number of things going on.
It was, absolutely. Well, a local church is providing produce for community members in need.
KOAM's Mitch Adams visited the garden to find out more.
In Baxter Springs, Kansas, a local church is planting the seeds of generosity and harvesting hope.
And as we got to talking, we realized we had a lot of gardeners in our church, and we said, what if we do a community garden and we'll just grow things and give them away? That's really all it is. There's no profit off this, there's no money, we just grow things and hand them out. So we started doing that, and we've been doing that for many years now.
The community garden is not just a plot of land. It's a way for church members to connect and support people in need. But
we probably have anywhere from 12 to 20 people come. Usually it's probably 12 to 15, somewhere in there, people on every time we do a handout. We have a lady in our church that makes fresh bread, so we do that too. We give that out as well. We've got some regulars, so some people we'll see every week. And then every week we've got people who are brand new, who just heard about it and they show up. We usually have enough to make sure everyone leaves with a bag full of vegetables and a loaf or two of bread.
To First Christian Church, it's not just picking peppers and tomatoes, it's cultivating kindness and community. Reporting in Baxter Springs, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
A food harvested from the garden is available each Wednesday at 6 in the evening.
Certainly a very cool project. Great way
Right.
to give back, and fresh food, fresh produce
Yes.
for folks as well.
Absolutely.
So very
Great to
important
see.
there. And we also are going to start to heat up, but not today, at least. It'll be fairly
Right.
decent today. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Looking to the south, you see just a couple of clouds. When the camera was pointed towards the sunrise this morning, it had a few other clouds out there, but otherwise really not a bad start to the day. MoDOT camera 20th and do it. We're going to make it through. Oh, hey, look. Hi. Welcome back. How's it going? It's Monday. Is it Monday? And now Lori gets to laugh at us because earlier she was trying to tell us that she's making food with crappers. I mean, I don't know if she's got like a toilet bowl collection. So it's all right. Now we're even. Are we even? Okay, we're even. Looks pretty good out there. On to the future track. We are looking at the opportunity for an isolated pop-up storm between noon and 4. If you look, you'll see a couple of them out there, but most of us will be dry. Skies will be fairly clear for most of us as well. Maybe some partly cloudy skies for some of our southern counties, but not bad. And look at these temperatures. 62 Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh. It is downright cold again for August out there. Low mid-60s. Bentonville, one of the warmer spots at 66 this morning, so not a bad start to the day. We'll go in the low 70s by 9, low 80s by noon, mid-80s for our highs, so still below normal. Pop-up storm chances out there, mostly clear this evening. Winds will be calm or light and variable. Tomorrow we get warmer, but we're seasonably hot. Temperatures about normal, but it only lasts a day before they start to climb again. Those details here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a high-speed crash at Mocan Dragway sends 2 drivers to the hospital Saturday night. Larry Hunt and Jim Burkebile collided at 130 miles per hour during the hot summer night racing event in Asbury. Hunt suffered an arm injury requiring surgery yesterday morning. Safety equipment and well-built cars protected both drivers from more serious harm. The track remains operational and racing continues at Mocan Dragway. The facility prepares for its next big event, the 60th annual Labor Day. Well, firefighters battled a large fire at Galena landfill on Friday night. The blaze broke out on the north edge of town along Route 66. Galena Fire called for backup from Baxter Springs and Carl Junction departments. Carl Junction said a tanker truck around 9:15 and smoke drifts through town. Be seen as winds shifted directions. No injuries are reported from the landfill fire. Firefighters remain on scene working to contain the blaze. Yesterday morning, the city of Galena released a statement saying the Environmental Protection Agency has conducted air quality testing at 5 different locations, both on and off the landfill site. The results of this monitoring indicate that there are no levels of concern detected by the EPA. The only readings recorded were on the landfill itself, and these levels were low and deemed not concerning at this time. A full comprehensive report is expected later this week. An investigation is now underway in Neosho County by the Kansas State Fire Marshal. The fire department released on social media that a structure fire was reported at 4:15 the morning at the 3200 block of Lyons Road in Thayer, Kansas. Crews noticed that the house was fully involved and had burned to the frame of the house. The department says per protocol, the Kansas State Fire Marshal's office was called and an investigation was requested. No further information has been released. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's always available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you have to do is search for the KOAM News app. Well, in Arkansas, the man accused of murdering a mother and father who were on a hike with their 2 young daughters appeared in court Friday. This comes as investigators release more details about the grisly crime and how the children were able to survive. Diane Gallagher has the latest.
Elementary school teacher Andrew McGann appearing for the first time before a judge Friday. Police say the 28-year-old admitted to the shocking killings of Clinton and Kristen Brink, stabbed as the couple hiked with their daughters at Devil's Den State Park Saturday afternoon.
It appears to be a completely random event.
The Brinks being hailed as heroes.
They absolutely protected those girls to their fullest extent, to the point that it cost them their lives.
Kristen's last moments spent trying to save her family.
The husband was attacked first. The mother did not return all the way to the car with the kids. We believe that the mother took them to safety and then returned to help her husband.
New court documents reveal the Brinks daughters first reported the attack to another hiker who got them off trail before heading to find the Brinks bodies and then hiking back out to get cell service. Another witness noticed a man with blood on his face drive off in a black car with tape over the tag. Police believe the attack was planned, even though the victims were random. And after more than 500 tips from the public, the terrifying 4-day manhunt ended mid-haircut at Lupita's Beauty Salon and Barbershop in Springdale Wednesday evening.
Something felt off about him. He looked pretty scary. He didn't look like he was okay.
McGann had just moved to Springdale after accepting a teaching position at a local elementary school for the upcoming school year, the district confirmed to CNN. McGann had been hired to work at least 4 school districts in 3 different states in just 3 years. In 2023, in Texas, a parent who described him as cold told CNN she reported McGann after her son described his 4th grade teacher as touchy and inappropriate with certain girls in class. An internal investigation found problems with classroom management and professional judgment, but did not find evidence of inappropriate behavior, according to the Louisville Independent School District. It said McGann resigned that May.
Now, in addition to McGann admitting that he killed the Brinks, police say his DNA matched blood evidence that they collected. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Lori Horton is back in the studio showing us her recipe for classic lunch lady bars. And later, a small Kansas town brings back a soaking wet tradition. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Time now, 7:09. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Mercy Park in Joplin. Welcome back. This morning, Lori has been showing us her recipe for classic lunch lady bars. Now, we've already done some hard work making that kind of first layer, that peanut butter layer. So talk to me about that and then what the next steps are.
So good. So, you know, some of us are old enough to remember when we would have peanut butter snacks in school. That's not quite okay anymore with all the allergies, but still a good one if that's not an issue in your house. And so yummy. You have a combination of the peanut butter and chocolate.
Delicious.
What I've got over here on the stovetop is just about a cup of heavy whipping cream, and I've got it warm.
Okay.
You'll be able to tell it's not boiling. We don't want to scorch it or overheat it. You can do this in a microwave, but it is actually a little harder to control the heat in that microwave, so it's kind of easier to do a really low temp on the stovetop.
Okay.
I'm going to very carefully sprinkle in about a cup of chocolate chips, try not to make a mess. And you really don't want to stir that. We're just going to let that set while we come back and work on our first layer so that can very gently sort of start to soften those chips. And we'll come back and mix that together in a minute. When it comes to our pan, you can line this with foil, parchment, but I'm just going to spray my pan with a little bit of our baking spray. Again, make a mess. We're doing the best we can today. That's where we're at with this. Oh, so we're going to get a good layer in there so that this removes easily, as you'll see. I mixed together just those simple 4 ingredients: peanut butter, powdered sugar, butter, and graham cracker crumbs. Very carefully, but it's very well incorporated. And you can see it really does look like the middle of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
It smells like it too. I can smell it all the way from here.
So good. And we're just going to take that and just mash it and pat it down into our pan so that we get a really nice even layer. And as I said to start with, you can make this a thicker layer if you prefer by using like an 8x8 pan. That works great. And you may want to cut back on how much chocolate that you put on top of it, although really, do you want to do that? I mean, there's no such thing as too much. But if you do it that way, of course, you're going to get a thicker layer of that ganache on top, which is perfectly fine. You can sprinkle the top of that then with some chopped up peanuts, some chocolate chips, drizzle it with some hard shell ice cream topping.
That would be delicious.
Go crazy on that.
Make it your own.
You can, and it's actually really good with a light sprinkling of some coarse sea salt as well. That goes so nicely with the peanut butter. So once we've got that patted down really nicely, you'll see we've just got an even layer in there. We're going to throw this in the fridge. You'll want to leave it in there for at least an hour. Obviously, I did mine last night, so it is nice and firm, even though it's been sitting out for just a few minutes. But that's just going to make it easier to put your ganache on top and let it set up quickly. So when we come back, we're going to get this all nice and stirred together. It's going to be really creamy and make that nice fudgy sort of chocolate topping for that. And then we may have to sample.
All right, sounds like a plan. Stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Lori is just finishing up the last final touches for these lunch lady bars. They already look so delicious, smell so wonderful. What do we have left to do, Lori?
Well, just that chocolate layer on top. But you know, you're 100% right. We could stop right here, and these are amazing. It's like a deconstructed peanut butter cup. You know, you can just eat the filling, and that's okay. Yum. We're not here to judge. But the topping that we're going to make for it, traditionally you'll see a lot of recipes that just melt chocolate chips and pour on top, and that works fine, but they do set up a little firm. So if we make a ganache to put on top, it still stays a little bit creamier, a little bit fudgier when you go to cut it.
Silky smooth over there.
It's so pretty
so
right now.
Wonderful.
It's probably a little bit hard for you guys to see because our banner's in the way there, but
you can see the gloss.
You can really see the shine on it. And the secret to ganache really is patience, and that is honestly why I struggle with it sometimes, because patience is not my deal. But as I said, if we warm our heavy cream, put that chocolate in there, whatever type of chocolate you choose, you can use chocolate bars, chocolate chips, pure chocolate, and just walk away. Do something else and let it set. Take it off of that heat and let the warmth of that cream really do the melting for you. Don't try to rush it. And then just let it really set and get really nice and creamy. Don't stop stirring it.
How long does it normally take?
So to actually set up, once we get this out of the pan, it's going to firm up quickly.
Okay.
And it helps that our bars are nice and cool in the pan. So that's kind of going to take care of that. You'll store this in the fridge though, once you if there's leftovers, you know. That may not happen, so that may not be a problem. But when it's really nice like this, we can literally just pour that over the top. And you can see it's kind of just looks like a melted chocolate chip. That works great. We're going to get a nice even layer. This is about the perfect amount for this 9 by 12-ish size pan.
Okay.
So again, if you do that smaller pan, perfectly fine. You're going to get a little bit thicker layer, and you'll want to let it set up in the fridge just a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take my angled spatula and just kind of get this all the way out to the edge.
It looks so delicious.
And it's going to be such a beautiful, perfect mirror finish. Now, I already kind of removed a little piece over here just in case we needed to taste. It is going to be a little bit messy right now until that has a few more minutes to set up, but you will see. And what's nice is if you leave this for just a few minutes, it will start to get a nice firm top to it. You can actually come back then at that point with just a butter knife or a soft spatula and score your cut marks in it, and then go ahead and let it completely set up in the fridge. Makes it so much easier to cut after the fact, and you get those really, you'll see those pieces that have perfectly smooth edges.
Ooh,
you either do that with a warm knife, or you pre-score it.
You pre-score it, and that's how you can do it.
That is the secret.
Wonderful.
So if you're taking these to, you know, maybe an event or a party, and you really want to make sure they look really perfect, that is the way to do it. But give these just a few minutes in the fridge, and they're going to be ready to eat. And they're, once you start, you will not be able to stop.
Oh, they look great. Well, Lori, as always, thank you so much for teaching us another wonderful recipe this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. Chris will be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Just after 7:24 on this Monday morning, we're going to start with the future track because once again, between about noon and 4, if you look close, we could get an isolated pop-up storm or two. But a reminder with pop-up storms and future track, it's signaling that there is a chance for them. It is not a guarantee that at 2 o'clock there will be one in Delaware County. It's just showing that it's a possibility. In fact, there's one that flares up briefly. In fact, I think we just missed it near Stockton or southwest of Stockton. So it's an isolated chance. Most of us will be dry today. As we head into our Tuesday, similar situation. We could get an isolated storm or two, but it'll be later in the evening after 7, and it's a very brief isolated chance late evening hours in our northern counties. Tomorrow night. Most of us, again, as you saw on Future Track, expected to be dry. Early Wednesday morning, between about 5 and 9, could get an isolated shower or rumble of thunder, primarily into southeast Kansas. Then about 10, 11, we get another round of at least a few more isolated showers, a couple of thunderstorms possible. Those might continue into the early afternoon and early evening, and as we head to about 5 o'clock or so, those will clear out as well, just leaving us with partly cloudy skies. The other thing to note, though, is our wind arrows by Wednesday out of the south, bringing in much warmer air for us as we head into Wednesday afternoon. So for today, temperatures not bad. Tomorrow, they're hotter, but they're seasonably hot. We should be in the low 90s, and that's where we're headed for our highs on Tuesday at this point. However, Wednesday into Thursday, temperatures begin to climb, and we're now getting into about the mid-90s by Wednesday. And, of course, that means we're looking at temperatures getting pretty uncomfortable. Now, heat index values today, not even really a thing. In fact, in some cases, some of these might be wind chills in a way, so we're not expecting anything significant there. As we head into our Tuesday, heat index values, they're there, but they're only a degree or two warmer than the actual air temperature. And that's the nice thing, is that may continue. Even though our air temperatures are increasing, by Wednesday and Thursday, our heat index values may only be a couple of degrees warmer than the air temperature. So that means we're not looking at overly humid air. We're not dealing with the super muggy conditions like we saw about a week ago. So we're not talking, as our temperatures climb, our heat index values skyrocketing, 105, 110 degrees. But still, this heat could be dangerous for some, elderly, the children, pets, And of course, those with certain medical conditions may be a little more susceptible to the heat this week. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself out there. And regardless, stay hydrated because it's still going to be hot. Looking pretty good. Skies are pretty clear. Got a couple of clouds here and there. About 68 near 70 by 8 o'clock this morning, right around 80 by 11. Temperatures again a pinch warmer than yesterday, but still below normal as we're looking to go right about the mid 80s. Got those pop-up storm chances between noon and 4. Most of us dry. Into the evening, skies should be clear. We're back down around the mid 70s by 10. Another below normal night, another cool one. Mid 60s. Not as cool as this morning, but still a bit cool out there, especially for August. And that's it for a little while as temperatures climb. Low 90s tomorrow, mid 90s Wednesday, upper 90s, maybe triple digits Thursday and Friday. But like I said, our heat index values at this point only a couple of degrees hotter, but you still want to take precautions out there because it's still very hot. Stays that way into the weekend, more pop-up storm chances, and then our temperatures return closer to normal by next week. That's checking your forecast. We are back with more right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Snowy. The 103rd Ottawa County Free Fair hits its second day with the horse show in Miami. With around 35 to 40 participants, the horse show featured a variety of events, including barrels, showmanship, and polls, among others. Each event offered a chance for young riders to demonstrate their abilities and compete for recognition.
The community needs to invest in their youth more. Our numbers are dropping slowly. We used to have a lot more kids involved in these agriculture activities and in youth activities across the board.
I hope she does good. We have she has bumped on barrels before, but other than that, she's done good.
The Ottawa County Free Fair continues Tuesday with a swine show. Well, it's a parade with a splash in Humboldt, Kansas. Water Wars isn't just a name, it's a full-blown water fight through town. The parade looped around the main square twice, but unlike most parades, this one encouraged soaking the spectators, and the spectators returned the fire. The event was revived by a Boulder Humboldt in 2019 and has since become a wild summer tradition.
We used to have water wars between local fire departments, and they would shoot, they'd have water cannons on the fire trucks, and they'd shoot a keg on a cable to kind of like a reverse tug of war to see who was the champion fire team.
Now, after the floats passed, the fun continued with the 4-lane slip slides, foam pits, water balloon games, polar plunge tanks, and even kiddie pools for the little buns. Well, pop culture fans gather at the recently opened Joplin Expo Center to experience JomoCon. KOAM's Mitch Adams visited the convention to find out more.
Behind the walls of the new Joplin Expo Center, pop culture fans gather to participate in this year's JomoCon. Whether you're a cosplayer, anime fan, or just interested in pop culture, JomoCon is open to all interests.
You can come here and people will actually be able to appreciate what you did. And so giving them a space to do that and just seeing them enjoy the con and, get to talk to local artists and makers and all the rest of that, having a space to come together and do stuff in Joplin was one of the goals of the con.
Conventions are a way to find people that enjoy the same things as you in a safe and judge-free environment.
It's really nice. I mean, I always have fun at conventions, and I like meeting the people. And I don't know, they're always super kind because they're a lot like me, so it's easy to connect with them.
Although the costumes may only be put on every now and then, JomoCon gives people confidence to be who they want to be.
In your day-to-day, people tend to look down on people who have more niche interests, so just being able to come and be with people of your community who like the same things as you is always nice.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to organizers, JomoCon is the first event to utilize both halves of the new Joplin Expo Center. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
We've got another pretty decent day. Temperatures still below normal for us this afternoon, but then we'll start to heat up eventually. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good. A little hazy out there, a few clouds, but nothing too crazy. Same from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. The only thing that starts to get a little crazy, of course, during the morning commute is the traffic as people begin to flood into the city. On to the future track between noon and 4. If you look, you'll see an isolated shower or pop-up storm. Most of us will remain dry as we head through the afternoon. We'll have clear skies into the evening and overnight hours. But again, our temperatures today below normal. In fact, very below normal this morning. 62 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh. We should be about the low 70s or right around 70. And the closest we've got so far has been Bentonville, sitting at 66. But as you can see, the rest of us low to mid 60s. We haven't had anybody, at least on this map, drop back into the 50s yet, but it is still a bit on the chilly side, especially for the first week of August. Being the low 70s by 9, again, those pop-up storm chances, low 80s by noon, mid 80s for our highs today. Winds will be calm or maybe light and variable out there, so just a really pleasant day overall. Our temperatures begin to climb tomorrow, and they'll continue to heat up as we head through the second half of this week. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge, available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, scientists say tomorrow could be one of the shortest days in your lifetime. The Earth is spinning faster, which means some days have been shorter by just milliseconds. Fox's Kevin Uretsky explains what could be causing the change in time.
With only 24 hours in a day, each second counts. And August 5th is expected to be one of the shortest days of the year.
It doesn't mean it's going to be an hour shorter. It means it's going to be a millisecond shorter. But that's really unusual.
On average, it takes the Earth about 86,400 seconds to complete one full rotation on its axis. But scientists are predicting August 5th to be 1.51 milliseconds shorter than the average day.
The days this summer, a few of them have been measurably shorter than we expected.
And while astronomy experts, including Christopher Palma, are still trying to figure out what is causing the Earth to spin differently, they do have a few ideas.
As the glaciers melt, mass on the Earth is redistributing. The liquid inside of the Earth is spinning in a slightly different way. And so there could be changes going on in the spinning interior of the Earth that is causing the exterior of the Earth to slow down.
Even though a few milliseconds don't seem like a big deal, in the long run, the variation in time could affect more than just the length of your day. Scientists say almost every system, including computers, satellites, and telecommunications, requires a precise understanding of time.
And so the GPS system needs to know the timing of those signals really accurately. There's a little bit of error in one of those signals. You get a little bit of error in how far should you go before you turn, or how far did you walk that day.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Back to school season is approaching. We'll share a few tips as you search for the right balance in preparing your child. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Mercy Park in Joplin. Time now 7:37. In Consumer Watch, the race to implement artificial intelligence is hitting the job market, causing major job losses, according to a new report. Job cuts due to generative AI surged in July, with challenger Gray Christmas reporting 10,000 layoffs. New labor numbers reveal only 73,000 jobs added last month, missing forecast. Tech sectors have slashed 89,000 jobs this year, in a 36% increase from last year, with 27,000 cuts linked to AI. Handshake reports a 15% drop in entry-level job listings for Gen Z, while AI requirements and job descriptions have skyrocketed by 400%. Well, clothing company American Eagle has fired back after the heavy backlash it received over its Great Jeans ad campaign featuring popular actress Sydney Sweeney. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more.
American Eagle is standing by their ad campaign. They say simply, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans, is and always was about the jeans. Her jeans, her story. Will continue to celebrate how everyone wears their American Eagle jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. This is the ad that's got people talking. It features blonde, blue-eyed Sydney Sweeney modeling the jeans. Critics have zeroed in on one teaser video which shows Sweeney talking about genes as in DNA being passed down from parents. They say the whole play on words hints at eugenics. One person on TikTok even compared it to Nazi propaganda, and celebrities like Lizzo and Doja Cat have taken aim at the ad.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between like 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Others say people are reading into this way too much. Senator Ted Cruz saying on X, now the crazy left has come out against beautiful women. I'm sure that will poll well. Vice President J.D. Vance is slamming Democrats as well, though we should note we've not seen prominent Democrats react to this ad.
So much of the Democrats is oriented around hostility to basic American life. So you have a pretty girl doing a jeans ad and they can't help but freak out. It reveals a lot more about them than it does us.
Sydney Sweeney, for her part, has not publicly addressed the controversy. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Just now 7:45 on this Monday morning, and on to the future track is where we're going to start, because we do have at least some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances over the next couple of days. So today between noon and 4 could get an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm out there. As you saw, it's brief and the majority of us will remain dry today, and that'll be the case again on Tuesday, except this opportunity comes later in the day. We'll spend the majority of the day dry, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, but around 7 or so, maybe a brief isolated shower storm in our far northern counties. Now, early Wednesday, an isolated shower storm possible as well, primarily into southeastern Kansas is the expectation, but it is also short-lived. And by about 10, 11 o'clock Wednesday morning, another little round of isolated showers, thunderstorms comes on through. The ones on the Missouri side kind of start to die out and truck east. On the Kansas side, they're still isolated. Most of us will continue to remain dry, but temperatures begin to increase as we head into the second half of this week. By tomorrow, temperatures also increasing, but not above average. We're looking to be right around normal into the low 90s for most of us. But by Wednesday, temperatures will begin to climb and we'll start going into the mid 90s across the area. And that warming trend continues into our Thursday as well. Our heat index values, though, are an interesting thing. Last week or so, we had highs mid-upper 90s. It put our heat index values up to 110. Not looking to be the case over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, heat index values may be a degree or two higher than the actual air temperature. And Wednesday, even though we continue to warm, again, just a degree or two above the actual temperature. Now, that doesn't mean it's not hot. You can see where these heat index values are going. And by Thursday, you can see the same thing. It gets hot, but these heat index values that you're seeing are still only a degree or two above the actual air temperature. So it shouldn't be as muggy. It won't feel as miserable, but it'll still be hot, and it could still be dangerously hot, again, for kids, pets, the elderly, and those with a certain medical condition. So just make sure you're staying hydrated, taking care of yourself. But again, it just isn't expected to be as muggy as what we saw last week when those heat index values were really skyrocketing. We got a pretty good view of the mostly clear to just straight up clear skies this morning, near 70 by 8 and about 80 by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies out there. We'll have those pop-up storm chances, again, although very isolated, mid-80s for our highs. So today, another day below normal for us, which also means, at least for this time, another cool evening. Mid-70s by 10, overnight back below normal into the mid-60s, and we should have clear skies continuing out there for us. Now, beyond that, seasonably hot tomorrow, low 90s, mid-90s Wednesday, and then, see, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, these temperatures are ugly. They're not comfortable, and again, you still need to take precautions, but our heat index values, even through Thursday and Friday, only a couple of degrees above these temperatures, and I'm really hoping that holds, but we're looking at lower humidity and dew point levels, so that should help us out a little bit. Still hot into the weekend, pop-up storms Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and as we roll into the start of next week, our temperatures return to normal. Still hot, but seasonably hot. That's checking your forecast. We are back with more right after this.
Whether families with school-aged kids want to face it or not, the summer vacation season is inching closer towards its end, with some districts reopening classrooms in just a matter of weeks.
Fox News' Sean Langille takes a closer look at things educators recommend parents do in the remaining time they have left to help their kids and their kids' teachers have a smoother and less stressful start to the upcoming academic year.
Districts across the country have different start times for the upcoming school season. The countdown to the end of summer is ticking louder for everyone with each passing day. And while families might be tempted to start getting their kids ready to go back into the classroom, Erica Frankenberg, education professor at Pennsylvania State University, says there's value in letting children soak up every last ounce of outdoor summer fun, especially the younger they are.
For elementary school students, emerging research shows that it's really important for them to engage in outdoor play, engage in multi-age play.
But with nationwide childhood math and reading scores having had a hard time bouncing back in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, parents who want their kids exposed to some extra lessons should take caution not to burn them out.
I think helping them to get ready and prepared, but also not putting too much pressure on them in these last weeks of summer, that really they need to be kids, and there's really valuable experiential learning that can happen.
Meanwhile, besides hunting for deals on back-to-school supplies, families can prep for the upcoming season by talking with their kids about any changes they might encounter and reminding them to be respectful of everyone, including their teachers.
I think the partnership between teachers and parents and students is a really important sort of triad. Research shows that educators are one of the most important factors in the success that students have. And so thinking about how to make sure that educators feel valued and welcome so that they will be able to do their best.
Sean Langille, Fox News.
Certainly a lot of great tips, a lot of great advice. Parents, you got to get ready. Kids, you got to get ready.
It's that time of the year.
It is. It certainly is. One last quick check of our future track. Again, between about noon and 4 today, could get an isolated pop-up shower storm. But again, the majority of us will remain dry. Similar situation for our Tuesday, but it will be considerably later in the day, after about 7. And it is another very brief window of an isolated shower or two in our far northern counties. Wednesday morning could get a couple of isolated showers or storms in southeast Kansas, and then another round about 10, 11 o'clock. Still isolated. Most of us will remain dry, but we'll at least have some chances for some rain out there. We're going to have another look at your forecast and your wake-up recap right after this.
This is your wake-up recap for August 4th. The top stories to start your day. Over the weekend, a high-speed crash at Mocan Dragway sent drivers Larry Hunt and Jim Burkbile to the hospital. The collision occurred at 130 miles per hour during the Hot Summer Nights event in Asbury. Hunt underwent arm surgery yesterday, and thanks to safety equipment, both drivers avoided more severe injuries. Mocan Dragway remains operational, gearing up for its 60th annual Labor Day event. And firefighters are actively containing a large fire at a Galena landfill that ignited Friday night along Route 66. Backup from Baxter Springs and Carl Junction, including a tanker truck, arrived to assist. Smoke continues to drift through the town due to shifting winds. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported, and firefighters remain on scene to ensure the blaze is fully contained. And an investigation is underway in Neosho County by the Kansas State Fire Marshal following a structure fire reported at 4:15 a.m. on the 3200 block of Lyons Road in Thayer, Kansas. The house was fully engulfed and burned to the frame. The fire marshal's office is now involved, but no further details have been released. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And our temperatures today below average again, but warmer. Mid-80s out there. Isolated pop-up storm or two between noon and 4. Most of us will be dry. As we head into the evening hours, clear skies, mid-70s by 10. Overnight lows tonight, mid-60s, so another below normal evening. Seasonably hot tomorrow, low 90s. Pop-up storms possible Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, most of us dry. Temperatures climbing, but heat index values only going to be a couple of degrees warmer, so don't have to deal with the humidity, but still got to stay hydrated, still take care of yourself out there. Hot into the weekend and back to normal by next week.
All right. Well, Well, if you're a fan of the outdoors, today would be a good day to visit a national park. In honor of Great American Outdoors Day, the National Park Service will be waiving the entry fee to any of its parks.
It's to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Great American Outdoors Act. And President Trump signed it into law in 2020. The Department of the Interior describes the legislation as the single largest investment in public lands in American history. And of course, a lot of great national parks in our own backyard. Some of you may not even realize they're there. So get out there and
check them out.
Enjoy it. Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We are back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.